Hello, welcome to Animal Audit Corner. As you can tell today, okay, as you can tell, it is Saturday, and usually I'm not in my ARC corner. It's usually supposed to be a Friday when I'm supposed to, this is a winding down period. Now, I'm sorry, guys. I needed something to do while I was trying to get my internet access back. So guess what? During the holidays, I'm really sorry, guys. I painted this holiday candles. Of course, you know the holidays are over. And I'm not going to put this up for sale until next year, because this was meant to be a holiday version. And now I have completed one of my other pieces. It's the leaves that I did for you back in the fall. It's this one. I'm going to put this up for sale on my merch store. So even though the leaves are different colors, I'll just put it up for sale anyway, because guess what? My house is loaded with each and every work that I have done. Some of it I definitely shoved in the back room past my bedroom, where I actually do my stories with my mic. So this is one of my works that I completed. Geez. Okay. And this one I did complete a little bit. Of course, some of the pieces are not dark enough. Maybe I'll just stop doing this one. I won't overdo it, because I don't want any of the paint to come off. So this is one of the pieces I did. I've completed. And this is the one I completed in October. Now, I am debating whether or not I should sell it right now or wait till next year, since I really did this in October and it's a fall version of this. So I'm debating whether or not I should actually put it up for sale. Now, I also said I was going to put makeup on from now on to not make me look half ghost, half like those half and half cookies. Yeah, I forgot to do that. Of course, I was actually late getting on anyway, so. And, okay, and I drew up another one, I think this about, let's see, I would think 10 years ago, before I went to school, or maybe, I don't know when I did this, but I am definitely going to do this. All right. And guess what, everybody? I am going to paint the SPTV logo on this one. Each side, it's going to have the regular blue and red logo with the SPTV on it. And it's also going to have other colors as well. Now, I might put other designs on it, and this one will go directly to the SPTV Foundation to get Scientologists back on their feet. And I'm definitely going to have a piece for the Aftermath Foundation. So, it's going to say AF on it, because guess what? It's going to be the same thing. So, D, and then it's going to have AF and then it's going to go around. So I got to get another one of these. And each one that I finish, I'll match up with actually painting from both of those foundations. So guess what? I have more back there. So I'm going to actually buy maybe one more of these. Or maybe two. It depends. I mean, I get all these at either, I usually get these at the Goodwill store and sometimes the Dollar Tree. Let me show you the one that I got from the Dollar Tree. This one I got from the Dollar Tree. And it costed $3.60. Of course, I'm going to paint this and I'm going to add on to the cost, since I have to cover my losses while buying it. And I have to be honest with you. I got into arts to make a living, but you know what? As you know, in the arts, it's unpredictable. You may not even make money at all. So whether you're an actor, painter, or sculptor, there's no predicting when or where you're going to make a profit. As an actress, I only got paid a couple of times. And I got paid for 2 of my paintings at Magnolia Clubhouse, and that sold. It moved out. But now Magnolia Clubhouse doesn't have their gift shop anymore. Instead, it's now a coffee spot where anyone can go, including the members of Magnolia Clubhouse, which is part of the Clubhouse International. Now, in case you just got out of cult and seeking professional mental health care, inquire Clubhouse International. It's in one of the states you're in. So even though they do help you find jobs and place to live, they have an excellent recovery program, along with activities like karaoke and tie-dye like Dusty Soda Fountain does. And they even serve lunch. So consider it. And they'll help you through your everyday recovery. And that might include coming out of the cult, because that's a form of trauma. So schedule your tour. Call one of the Clubhouse Internationals and schedule a tour. If you're in the Cleveland area, call Magnolia Clubhouse and schedule a tour with them. I'm not just limited to the ones that just got out of the cult or Scientology. It's originally for people with mental illness. So yeah, technically, I think that would fall under mental illness and trauma. But call them, schedule a tour. It's at the link down below. Okay, now we're not going to have any interruptions. Let's go on with the show. Now, as you know, one day when I was getting my mental health care, a woman who happened to be my therapist brought me into a room and we did a little art. Now, I have the other pieces in the back room. I'm going to have those framed. I'm never going to toss those. I don't care. I'm going to have them framed. I think 154 pieces of work that I did. Anyhow, and some of them were from art therapy. Now, if you're just getting out of the cult or want, or you're getting mental health care, there is also art therapy. Now, in Ohio, the Signature Health, they do have art therapy because I took it there. Did a difference. I actually made a dream catcher. It is awesome. And of course, I figured, you know what? Since there is such thing as art therapy, and a lot of you from Scientology who just got out getting mental health care, I highly recommend art therapy. There's also NAMI, which is a nationwide nonprofit organization. Now, call them and schedule an appointment for a therapist, or no, they're not that kind of place. They actually hand your case over to a mental health facility. It doesn't mean you're going to go to a mental hospital. No, it's just mental health care to help you with your trauma, or if you have mental illness and it's been undetected for years due to Scientology's no stance on psychiatry practice, then get yourself checked in, and they'll also diagnose you with mental illness if you have any. And so, of course, they also have art therapy. It just relaxes you. I know I've mentioned this in one of my other of Animal Audit Corner. So now, coffee. I drew up a new project from this picture. I think this is a photo I must have took because I did not remember ever taking it. I might have taken it when I was being inspired, but left it in my dad's house. Of course, now my dad passed away for a year now. He's been gone a year. This came out of this house. So I was wondering if I took this picture and clearly forgotten that I did, or he might have. So I have these two drawing, and I outlined it with the paint. Oh, okay. Let me. Okay. And here's the other that I did. Okay. And now, let's see here. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do this today. Instead, I'm going to do this. This is another piece that I had. Of course, I just showed it to you because I don't really have the color that I want, even though, yes, I can mix it. But then again, I want to actually start this because it's been a while since I ever touched this thing. So I really have to do this because it's been a while since I touched it. So we'll put this aside for now. Okay, there we go. And you know what? Looks like this is a little dusty. I'm going to go get a paper towel and it just dusted off a bit. Hold on. Okay. And now I am going to outline this with my black paint because, and of course, oh geez. Well, while I'm painting, I will talk about, and of course, since this is a show about the cult, and you're thinking, what does this have to do with Scientology? Of course, I just told you that after coming out of an experience of a cult or have mental illness that's undetected, art therapy would come in, whether it's painting in the form of crafts, whatever. This would come in. Now, I'm not an art therapist. I'm not a therapist, period. So check with the link down below. I highly recommend NAMI, but if you want to go to the other agencies that handles those crises, you can. But NAMI is a national nonprofit organization that helps people with mental illness. So let's get started before I ramble on. And now it's 20 minutes into this. Okay, so let's start. Now, I'm going to trace. Oh, this is what I painted. Drew. I took a picture and I actually traced it. It's easier to do since it's glass and you can see right through it, of course. So it's been a while since I touched this, and I'm like, you know what? It's about time I paint it. So that'll do it. Permanent marker. Of course, since this is glass, it would be unpredictable because it can easily come off too. So this is where I usually use black paint to paint it. So let's get started. Okay. Alrighty. Now, oh my gosh. I thought Jenna and Aaron was actually keeping their personal life under wrap, and I didn't say anything because you know what? It's their personal life. It's between them. But now they're on the internet talking about their relationship. So, you know what? It's sometimes things like that are expected because they just got out of a cult. So fly off the handle. I do that. I definitely do that. I have mental illness, so I start to yell. But it's a happy yell or an angry yell. It doesn't really make a difference. If I get too excited, yeah, the whole block can hear it. But it's usually, I think, don't quote me on it because I'm not a mental health expert. Ask your mental health expert if it's common that people express these kind of emotions and end up being a little bit louder than usual. If you want to require that, ask a therapist. So, oh my gosh, I'm not glad. And guess what? While I was up, I actually started drawing this lately. And I'm going to end up painting it. I thought since I'm up in front of it, I'm going to show you. So, and yeah, at my age, I never needed glasses in my life until this year, at the age of 55. Yeah, you would think. Yeah, but you know what? I think it happens to everybody, I guess, as they get older. Here's my glasses. Of course, I might have mentioned it too. Okay, so we're going to start painting this. All right. Yeah, and Yeah, yeah, those two do really have their issues, and I think they're going back and forth on their relationship for some reason. Yeah, maybe those should just call it quits. They have an issue of their own, but I can't tell them how to go about their relationship. Oh man, I really need to. Ugh, lengths you have to go through. All right. Of course, I have my hair back because if I have it on the end, it'll fall off my face. So I put it in the back so I can actually easily put it strictly on my hair and it'll stay in. Hopefully. Usually it does. And other times, yeah, sometimes it falls off, but usually it doesn't. Okay, yeah. And of course, Aaron, I think, really expressed that he doesn't want to see a mental health professional. It might be a bad mistake, but you know what? It really is his choice whether he wants mental health care at all. But does Jenna? I don't know. She hasn't really mentioned it, but as of Aaron, I think it might have, or else I would have never brought it up. So my memory's flawed. It's been like that my entire life. I have ADHD, so I have tendency to forget some things. So, and as you know, I'm also diagnosed with bipolar. So, yeah, he still has trauma left in him. So, it'll be nice if, yeah, he gets it treated, but you know what? It's a pride thing. My dad had it before he actually passed away, but he was one of those people that don't want to admit he needs help. And Aaron probably falls under that category. I mean, it's good that you get everything off your chest before your emotions goes all over the place, which looks like it did with him and Jenna. So you have to keep your mental health in check because if not, you can hurt yourself and other people. But I started getting mental health care early on in my life. And then as the years progressed, my symptoms just blew up. And then it started in high school. It just blew up every time I get into a situation. Started having panic attacks. And it did. And it blew up. And then by the time I was 22, it just spiraled out of control. So I went to see a mental health professional, and she did recommend that I be on medication. Since she wasn't in a position to do that, she knew someone in the same building that could actually prescribe me medication. It was Paxil. It did a little bit, but the nervousness was still there a little bit. But then later on, they had other medications come out. I'm on those, and it just kept my mental health illness in check. Now, it's not a cure. It's a treatment. And it stabilized me. And and it really curbed my anxiety. And of course, I've been taking medication ever since. Of course, also 2 weeks ago, while my internet connections were down, Aaron mentioned a dolphin named Winter Now, I'm going to start a story on Winter, and he died tragically when looks like Miscavige put a hit out on him. So I will do a story on Winter the dolphin. Maybe I should have kept that part until I'm finished writing the stories and up to Winter's death. So I'm going to start writing that story today. And later on, I'm definitely going to be in the kitchen, back in the kitchen later on around 5 o'clock. One. Okay, so, and the reason why I'm tracing this is because I don't want the markings to come off. So I'm tracing this with black paint. Now this week, last night, I tried to look into getting back into the public works meeting in Los Angeles, and I haven't been on since I got hacked into. And since then, I've been trying to navigate my way back into those meetings. So, and that's what I've been doing too. So, and yeah, it's just a bad mess that Scientology put me in. Now, did I mention what happened to my family? No, because they would have bugged me about it, but yes, they would have worried. I didn't want them to worry unless it was really urgent and they're around my house. Then yes, I would mention it. But at the same time, I just stopped trusting my brother because last time I trusted him, there was a crazy person living upstairs from me. But now that person's gone. He's dead. He died an unknown death. And then 5 months after he died, his brother died. So that's a little bit strange of its own. What happened was on his last day before his last day, he actually killed somebody upstairs. And since my brother told me not to call the police, I didn't. And that screwed me up. And my conscience was bothering me. So I went to the police and told them, and they said, you know what? There's not a whole lot you can do. There's nothing we can do about it now. It's gone, it's past. That's it. So I told them, okay, if there's a problem next time, they told me not to listen to my brother. And he says, if there's something serious going on, call us. And he said, I said, okay. That's the deal. So I'm going to do that from now on. So I'm just going to keep a tight lid on it. Okay, looks like I have to. All right. So to trace it, I'm using a smaller tip of the brush. Can't see much of it because it's so small, and this is what it's for. And and they said art therapy really relaxes you, and they were right, because in the past when I had anxiety and I drew, it relaxed me. So I thought, oh, maybe they're onto something here. So I decided to have a segment on the show about it. And so here I am at the crafts table with you guys. And of course, they would use art therapy for mental health treatment. So, of course, I did it one day with one of my other therapists. And it just, yeah, it's so relaxing and it soothes you. Now, and this week, On Monday, or was it last Saturday? I forgot his name, but he was a former elder in Jehovah's Witnesses. He did leave Jehovah's Witnesses. So, because he was questioning it for years, and then he stepped down, and then one day he just didn't go back to Jehovah's Witness at all. He's been out of Jehovah's Witness ever since. I forgot his name. Maybe if I see his clips again, I'll tell you his name. I forgot his name, but he was a former Jehovah's Witness. And yeah, and he was an elder, and he was questioning this sexual abuse in Jehovah's Witnesses, and in the fact that they weren't doing anything, I think really concerned him. So one day he just said, "I'm done," and just left. So that's but as you notice, people are most likely to run into a Jehovah's Witness more than they would run into Scientology. I only saw one Scientologist my entire life. Otherwise, it was, yeah, it was Jehovah's Witnesses. And yeah, I mean, they are a cult. So if they come to your door, don't answer it. And if they say they're from Jehovah's Witnesses, just say, "I'm busy." Respectfully decline them coming to your door, because they are a cult and you don't want a cult coming to your door. Now, they're not only, there are Christian cults and pagan cults. So there are several different kinds of cults. There's yoga cults, and there's oh, excuse me. And there are business cults, which is Scientology. They claim to be a religion, but they're not. They're, of course, a business. Gotta get the one that's hanging out. So, all right. This is what it looks like when I'm done with it. You can't barely see because, okay, I haven't really started coloring it yet. And the white paint's a little clear, so I'm just in. It is what it is. There is this one girl named Taylor. Now, I don't know what she's out for, but she's going after everybody that's in the occult, especially the ones that are in white magic. Now, white magic doesn't really cause any damage, and they're not allowed to put their hands on a person or take another life. There are supposed to be harm none. Now, this little Taylor girl, of course, she has been adamant about witches, white witches, going into churches. Now, that is uncalled for. If they are coming into your church, that's really between that person and God. That woman, you are not allowed to do stuff like that. That's called gossips in your windows. Now, it may or may not be true, but Churches are for everybody. And not just that, Jesus was outset about starting any temples or houses for the Lord. But we're still going to them. Me, I chose to go to church on occasions because I disagree with some of the not tactics. That's not this is not Scientology. They're not actually out to hurt anyone. Usually, of course, you're not perfect. You're going to make a mistake. Sometimes unconsciously judge another person. We do that consciously and unconsciously. And when then when they actually talking against the LGBTQ community, I decided, you know what, maybe I'll just go to church on occasion. Because the reason why the church is declining is because reasons like those. And of course, there's another piece on YouTube saying which churches do that. Well, not which church, but that's the way it was. I mean, they're speaking out against homosexuality, which is that's calling out judgment on other people. And that's not what Jesus is intended. You're not supposed to be judging people that way. And of course, now in the Bible, there are passages, the original passages that are in there, but the majority of them, it was taken out. Now the majority of them are in Ethiopia, in the vault. So, and it's also on YouTube. I just forgot what the name was. I keep saying I'm going to pull it up, but you know what? I should just do it. Yeah, I have pulled up things in the past, and I'm getting the hang out of using the clips. Now, you can use other clips on YouTube, but it only has to be for 30 seconds. So yes, it has to be under a minute. I checked on that. You're supposed to use only 30 seconds worth. If it goes over a little bit, like maybe 45 seconds, then I guess it's okay, but usually it's 30 seconds. So, and yeah, it's a hard thing to swallow for the LGBTQ community because, yeah, Jesus just vehemently said not to judge other people. Now, did they say not judge them harshly? Well, that can be the case, but when you say you can't judge, that means you're not supposed to do it in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah. Now, I am behind the LGBTQ community all the way. And of course, you know, Liz Ferris is a lesbian. So is Nora Ames. Serge came out of the closet. Those people came out of the closet. And there are more that came out of the closet. And of course, as you know, Serge and his husband has been battling against Scientology. So it looks like his husband, handsome guy, and Serge, oh my gosh, he is so cute. If he wasn't gay, I'd hop on a first plane to Los Angeles. He is just so cute. Of course, you know, all the good ones are either gay or taken. Go figure. And yeah, the handsomest guys on earth. so him and Michael has been advocating against Scientology. So Michael's been behind him all the way. He is a little bit older, and I'm thinking, well, he's a little bit too old, but you know what? I guess if you're happy, then I guess age is not a limit. So yeah, me, I'd rather be the older one. I want to be the older one in a relationship. So I guess why that's one of the reasons why I'm not married. I got a little bit too fickle about it. I wanted a family with 4 kids and 2 dogs. I got neither one. So yeah, does it help to be fickle? I guess not, but guess what? You want what you want, but sometimes we can't always have what we want. So, but does Liz and Amy's wives want to join in the fight? It doesn't really look it because they haven't been on camera at all, so I doubt it. So, but Serge's husband Michael has been behind him and has been on camera battling Scientology. And of course, as you know, he supported Aaron while he was falsely arrested. Of course, you know the incident back a couple of years back when Perry hit Aaron with his cane and let his dog on him. Yeah. And yeah, he put that dog in a compromising position because guess what? That dog could actually be put down if that was the case. But it doesn't look like that dog did. So yeah, he shouldn't even be owning a dog. Right. And of course, you see the clip where Aaron has no weapons on him. He pulled out several knives into a sack voluntarily. They cuffed Aaron but let him loose. What's up? It doesn't look like they arrested him. If they did, we don't know about it. And they never mentioned it. And how is it going with his lawsuit against the LAPD? And what's his name again? Tom somebody. Oh geez, I forget his name. If I remember, I'll mention it. Okay. It's really bad. Yeah, it looks like he was hired by Scientology to set the protesters up. So now, those are one of the reasons why I'm taking my time going out there. First of all, it's a little bit of a distance, and I don't have a car, and I have nobody to go with, not even a big group. So for now, I just decide, no, I'm not going to do it unless it's a huge group, because I would hope that that would overwhelm them and just not follow them. So I say go ahead and fight the good fight. But so I haven't. And plus, my brother put a child parental control on my phone as well. Oh, if they had a brother exchange program, I'd hand mine in. But you know what? Still my brother. Still love him. At the same time, there was a sibling exchange program or exchange program. I'll volunteer him, but we all take it for granted. Family, everybody does it. We shouldn't, but we do. And of course, Aaron's twin brother died, and he doesn't, and the other one doesn't want to talk to him because of Scientology. And it comes to show you that we take family for granted. We shouldn't, but we do. I admit it, and I just admitted it to you about my brother. But yeah, I still love him, and we do take it for granted. Now, this is everybody. Yeah, I mean, we try and get along. That's all you can do in the world is try. And plus, family is family. It doesn't matter whether you're angry at them, never talking to them again. They are still family. And we should treat each other with respect. And we really even look like siblings. Two of my brother's kids, well, only one of them looks like from someone from our side of family, but the other two don't. They look like from his wife's side of the family, which is different. So I don't know what happened. It just blanked out, and it turned itself off. It looks like this thing is on its last leg, and I have to get rid of it. But I have to come up with another device to replace this device, or I won't get a show at all. So, okay. Now, if it was a commercial, yeah, it would be more materially, but no. I really want to have. I really want my channel monetized. So, tell a friend and help me get monetized. So, community. Get out there, have more views. So tell a friend, okay, guys? And so far, my views have gone back and forth. I went from 200 and then it goes back down. So just tell a friend, tell a family member, and people outside on the street. Okay. Yeah, I am going to get back on the public works meeting, but I don't know whether I should go by my name or my show's name. So, all right. Okay, let me think. Of course, I'm going to try and get in touch with one of the politicians. I'm not going to say who in Ohio, but I'm not going to say who because Scientology could just jump on the bandwagon and go to that person. So, and then send that person proof that Scientology is a dangerous cult. I'll show them the clips, and then that'd be the end of it. And it's so unbelievable how one tiny little man can empty out an entire town. And there's not too many activity unless there's protesters on there or people who already live there. Street be so quiet and not have anybody walk on. I mean, Scientology, OSA, and upper management think they own the street. No, you do not own the street, Scientology. So it's unbelievable. They use up all the water. They used a water blaster on the street. Now, come on. Now, what if there was to be a fire? There would be no water available, and then would have to call another fire department to bring water to them to put out the fire. Now, what if there was another fire and they needed that engine, but they're tied up at L. Ron Hubbard Way? And I wouldn't call Tom Cruise Father of the Year either. He didn't go to Surrey's graduation or 18th birthday. He was either at the Olympics or a Taylor Swift concert. Now, what kind of father does that to his child? Now, there are people out there who should be parents but aren't parents because they can't have children, or there are circumstances that happened. And this man abandons his only biological daughter, but sees his two adopted children. Now, don't get me wrong, they're still his children, but the one that his biological child is his child too. And to exclude her because of Scientology is just awful. You should be ashamed of yourself, Tom Cruise. Yeah, let's see. Now, here in Ohio, there's the Columbus org, the Parma org in Cuyahoga County in Ohio, and there's one in Cincinnati. Now, the one in Cincinnati's got to be empty because guess what? Last time I checked, they only had 13 members. So there's 11 in Columbus and 2 in Parma, or maybe 1 in Parma and 1 in Cincinnati. But the numbers there are scarce. There's not even much Scientologists out here. Okay, so I bet you one of these orgs are empty, but the Columbus one looks like it is full, but not as full as you think. There's about maybe 11 members there now. I think Darth Beaver mentioned it. Now, I'm trying to look at every channel there is, and one of the reasons why I'm cutting Fluffer Squirrel some slack. There are so many channels out there. It's gotta be driving Scientology crazy. And guess what? They don't get any views. And if they do, they're probably sending their own people out to libraries and telling them to get them some hits. Yeah, there's no way they have. Yeah, I hope you guys don't think it's boring, but this is a lot of fun. And if you if you want to do this, you can actually go to the Goodwill store or go to the dollar store. They sell all their vases cheaper. Get the glasses that I just showed you, the vase glass that I just showed you. They sell it at the Dollar Tree, and it's a chain, and it's all over this country. But okay, but at the same time, it's going to be hard since they're closing a lot of their stores. Yeah, it's just a bad situation. People are getting put out of work. Now, as soon as I finish this, I will log off. Okay. All right. What else is going on right now? Let's see. Okay, excuse me. All right, and let's see. Oh, sorry about the loud silence. All right. What else is going on? I'm telling you, I am glad I'm back in my house. Although it was fun coming on location, but at the same time, I had no internet connection, so I had to use the one that's moments outside my house. But you know what? It's hard. Okay. And you know what? Don't get me wrong. If I don't have any popularity, at the same time, I'm wondering what I could pull off if I wasn't out there like Jessica Pomodessa, William Good, Natalie Webster. Oh my God, her last name. Aaron Smith Levin, Jenna Miscavige, and Marilyn Honey. I'm wondering how much I could pull off if I wasn't well known. So I'm gonna see. Where am I in Ohio? I'm never gonna mention it. Forget it, because then there's gonna be people outside my door. I'd be battling with them. They'll whine and cry to the police. And then, guess what? I don't think I'm going to be arrested because I know half those guys. So, and they know me from one of the employments I used to, at one of the businesses I used to work at. They knew me when they had lunch there, excuse me. So they know what I'm capable of, what I'm not capable of. And let's see. Okay, but if I one day get arrested, I'm not going to fight with them about it. I'm just going to let them do their job. But so far, guess what? I never broken a law my entire life. I've never been arrested. I've never been sent to jail or prison. So I am good. But Scientology does. But I am trying to avoid them being outside my door at all times. So that's why I'm taking my time even going out there or not going out there at all. And as of the hacking, that's just a material item. It doesn't replace lives. And the lives that Scientology took is unbelievable. This right here is just a material item. The lives they took can't replace. So, and Kendrick Moxon is no better. He's one of the most evil lawyers in the entire world. So, he is a piece of work, I'll tell you. Okay. Right. Oh, we're 1 hour in. Okay. Alrighty. And Audit LA, if you're watching, please notify me and help me get back into the Public Works meeting. I'm trying to navigate my way back in. And it's been since April of last year that I haven't been. And since then, I've been trying to navigate my way back in to those meetings. So, yeah. I'm going to mention that to them. That I got my computer hacked. And, yeah, they're not going to really do anything. So that was really a dirty trick that they pulled. So, and they really are afraid of Scientology. So, okay. And at the same time, they're not even out with the public. Okay. And I did go back at the police commissioner's meeting, but guess what? They wouldn't have me on the talk. They set out rules, and yet they don't follow it themselves. Unbelievable. And all right, let me think here. Oh, all right, let me think. Oh yeah, Dan Walks LA. Oh, my favorite gay guy. He is the most. Besides Serge, he is the cutest gay guy I ever saw. Too bad I can't have him, but yeah. And plus, he's funny. He's got this cool song called "Going Clear." He wrote it himself. Oh my gosh, it is such a cool song. Let's see. Trying to think. Yeah. Well, him and he was there with William Good. I think it was this week or 2 weeks ago, and they were really at it with them. He had a huge sign that almost covered the sidewalk that says Scientology abuses children, which they do, but it covered almost the entire sidewalk. But no, the one by the test center. It was so cool and so funny. Okay, let's see. Okay. After 2 hours, I'm going to cut out. And then afterwards, I'm going to come live at my kitchen later cooking for you. I got this one recipe that I haven't done with you. And it's a Middle Eastern recipe. If I don't run into another interesting recipe, then guess what? I will definitely do that one. Okay. Oh, did I mention earlier? Yes, I did about Winter Dolphin. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a story, an animal rights piece called Winter the White Dolphin. Okay. I'm going to see if I can find a picture of Winter. He supposedly had, oh no. You know what? Let me save it before I open my big mouth any further. I'm going to save it until sometimes this week when I actually do this story. It's going to be either on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So I'm going to do an animal rights piece this week before I do Scientology versus the mafia and how the treatment of children went. Nobody will give back to me. It is unbelievable. I'm sitting here wondering why nobody's calling me. Now, I would like to do a fundraiser, but guess what? I'm not in any position to actually give them since I'm low income. But you know what? I'm going to try and help out as much as I can. And you know what? I really hope you guys had a great holiday. Of course, I was at my family's house during the holidays. And it was so great seeing my two nephews. Oh, but I didn't really see my niece. Oh my gosh, I miss her to death. She'll be getting married this year. Of course, this is going to be so great. Of course, when she was a little girl, I was a young woman. Of course, I'm technically young now, even though I'm middle aged, but times are gonna change every day that we're out here in the world. Because that's what life does. It changes every day. Where, let me see what time it is. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. All righty. All righty. It's 1 o'clock. I'm going to have to wrap it up soon. Of course, I will. All right. Okay. Let me see here. And then after I log off, I'm going to come back at 5 o'clock. As soon as I finish, got a couple more lines to do, and then I'll be done. Next week, when I come back on Friday, I'm going to keep on outlining. I can't believe it's 1 o'clock already. I got on at 11:30. Okay, let's see here. Right. Now, I'm still determined if I get back, whether I should go by my regular name when I go to the one of the. All right. And usually I don't get that anyone live, but usually they don't come on until later on, which is, yeah. Alrighty. I'm halfway there. And no, I'm not living on a prayer like the Bon Jovi song, but no. Oh, those are one of my favorite songs. I even went to their concert in 1987 when I was a 17-year-old teenager. Oh my gosh. It was the most awesome concert I ever went to. Grampy. Alrighty. All right. Got one more piece left. My hand's gonna get all black if I go in the middle now, but I will cover that the next time I'm. Call it later. Okay. One more spot right here. Then I'll be off my merry way until later on tonight when I cook for you. Okay. All right. That should do it for now. Now, I'll definitely be back later in my kitchen